What's up guys, Meredith with ExtremeTerrain.com, and today we are checking out the ColorSMART Chasing RGB Halo LED headlights and fog lights with the black housing and clear lens, fitting all 2018 and newer JL Wranglers. I do want to note right up front that these fog lights included in the kit will have the 3-point mounting system and not the 4-point mounting system. So just make sure you peek at your fog lights and make sure that you're getting the right ones for your setup because models do vary. Now, if you have the correct mounting points and want a flashy headlight and fog light combo to liven up and modernize the lighting on your JL, especially if you take your Jeep to shows, this is going to be a good choice to look into. Now, in addition to the cork styling, these will also just outperform the factory halogens if you've been having a hard time with lighting performance and want an upgrade to see better when you're driving in lower light and want a custom option to do it with. Now, the obvious feature here is the RGB capabilities, which set these apart from a lot of other traditional lights with a standard white halo. Now, the halo in all 4 lights will tie together and have a million colors, literally a million colors, and 22 different modes, music sync, timing functions, sound sync, and more. So you can control these, all of those functions with a handy remote and change them on the fly. Now, they'll also have a yellow turn signal tie-in, which some combos don't include, and I think that that's a nice bonus on top of the other features that you're getting here. Now, aside from the fun aspects that these have, one of the most functional features is the multiple LED projectors on the inside. Now, those will throw a lot of lighting on your path that is condensed, so you won't have to strain your eyes when you're driving at night anymore, and they'll have a 6500 to 7000 K color temperature to stay on the cooler white side, unlike a scattered and warm tone halogen bulb. This set will have a 7-inch LED headlight in the middle and a 9-inch mounting bracket to fill that extra space in the grille and cater to those OE style mounting points on the JL. And the back of the headlights and the back of the fog lights will be made of a die-cast aluminum construction, which will disperse the heat evenly, keeping the LEDs running very efficiently, and the front will have a polycarbonate lens that'll be impact resistant while remaining crystal clear. Now, in addition to the sturdiness of the exterior here, these will also be IP68 rated, meaning that these are going to be shockproof, waterproof, and dustproof to protect the headlight itself and the LEDs inside. Now, another big thing to rest assured about with these headlights and fog lights is the fact that these are DOT approved, so even though you do have some extra fun features out of these, they still are going to be up to those standards. This kit is going to come in at roughly $550, and I think that that's relatively affordable for what you're getting out of this package here. You're getting both a headlight and fog light combo that is full LED and has some extra features to it, and you're getting all of the wiring, adapters, and a remote is going to allow you to customize your Jeep on the fly, which most traditional headlights aren't going to offer. This is also going to have a catalog of colors, modes, and other features that sets this apart from some of the other choices when it comes to RGB halo options. Now, I think if you're looking for a little bit of that extra, if you don't mind some of the wiring here, as you can see, you are gonna have to do a little bit. If you don't mind that extra work, you wanna save a couple bucks when it comes to a full package and really get that custom feel out of the front of your JL, this is gonna be a great choice to look into. Now, install for both the fog lights and the headlights will be rather easy at a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. It should only take you about 2 hours to get the job done. Now, you are going to have to do some minor wiring here for some of the features. However, it is fairly simple, and we'll show you how to do that in just a second. Now, at this point, we can head over to our shop and take a detailed look at the full breakdown on how to get these onto your JL at home. So that is going to wrap it up for my review. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
For this install, you would need a 3/8 ratchet, a 3/8 to 1/4 adapter, a 3/8 and 1/4 extension, a 10, an 8, and a 7mm socket, a T20 torque socket, a clip removal tool, wire crimpers, and wire strippers. Alright, today we're going to be installing some headlights and fog lights on our Jeep Wrangler. But first we're going to watch a video how to uninstall our stock headlights, and we'll come back here to uninstall the stock fog lights.
Alright, so the first step in our install is to remove the pop clips that are holding on our grill. So let's grab a pop clip removal tool and get these out. All right, so the rest of the grille is attached along the bottom and sides with pop clips. Firmly grab the grille and pull back towards you. And you should be able to remove it. All right, with our headlights exposed now, we can grab a 10mm socket, if you can find one, and go ahead and zip the 3 bolts that are holding on your headlight. Pull your headlight off. Locate the connector at the back. Press down on the connector and remove it.
All right, to move our fog lights, first thing we need to do is we need to remove our lower splash shield. There's some plastic clips in the front and 2 6mm bolts underneath that we need to take out. All right, we have our 2 bolts here and here and our 6 plastic clips that run along the front. We're gonna take our bolts out first. All right, and grab your clip removal tool and take out the clips. All right, we're gonna come to the front of our wheel liner and take out our 2 8mm bolts to access the wiring to our turn signal and marker light. All right, now we can come to the inside of the bumper and take off our panel to access our fog light. There are 7 7mm bolts going all the way around. All right, now we have access to our fog light. What we're gonna do is disconnect our connector and take out our 3 T20 screws on the sides. Take out the connector, push down the tab, pull out, and grab a ratchet with a T20 bit and take those screws out. All right, now we get to repeat that same process for the other side. All right, before we get to installing our hardware, what we need to do is get our wiring ready. We have 2 extension harnesses and our fog light harness that we need to attach connectors to. Now you can attach your wiring however you like. What we're gonna use on ours is a T-tap and a spade connector. What it's gonna do is gonna clamp over the factory wire, and then the spade connector will go in the end of the T-tap. So we're gonna grab our 1 extension wire, and we're gonna strip our wire back. All right, we're just gonna take our wire strippers and just strip this back a little bit more. Take our connector and take our wire crimpers and clamp that down. We're gonna do the same thing for our 2 wires on our fog light, except we don't need to strip them back anymore. All right, now we get to do the same thing for the other extension wire and the other fog light. All right, now here we have our wiring for our RGB controller. We have our wires labeled for our left side of the vehicle, wires labeled for our right side of the vehicle, and then we have our main hub wiring. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run our main hub wiring and our left side wiring right behind the rad support, and we're gonna connect our main hub wiring right behind the driver's side headlight. All right, so I'm just gonna take these wires now, just run them behind the wheel liner. Just get them out of the way. All right, and then here we have our wiring for our main hub. We have our ground, our power, and then our turn signal wires. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna hook up our ground to this ground stud right here. It's a 10mm nut, just loosen it a little bit, and then we'll tighten it over the stud. All right, now we can run our wiring for our turn signals and our power wire. All right, now we're gonna run our wire for our right side turn signal. Yellow wire on the harness is gonna be our right side. We're gonna take our extension harness, plug that in, and then run that along the front to the right side. All right, now you can run your wire however you want. You just want to make sure that you zip tie it up out of the way so it doesn't touch anything hot. We're just running ours for demonstration purposes up over the front and under our grill and just laying our box behind the headlight, but I would recommend securing everything down. All right, while we're here, we could just plug in our extension wire and our power wire for our right side. So we're gonna take our extension wire, that's gonna go into our green wire. We're gonna take that and we can just run the rest of that right under our fender liner. All right, and then for our power wire, what I did was just make a simple jumper wire. It's just it has two spade connectors on our ends because there's two female connectors. So we're gonna plug that into our red for power, run it through the fender liner, and then that is only on this side, and that will run to the power for the marker light. All right, now that we're here in the wheel well, we have our power for our marker light. That's gonna go to our power for our controller. And then we have our extension for our turn signal. That's gonna go into our power for our left side turn signal. Just check your wiring diagram, just make sure you're plugging into the right wire. All right, and just tuck the wires out of the way, and then you can repeat on the other side for just the extension wire for the turn signal. All right, now that we got our headlight, we're ready to install. What we need to do is attach our supplied adapter harness. Got our 3-prong plug. Plug that in. And then this will plug into our factory harness. And then we have our wire pulled up that's labeled for our left headlight for our RGB. It's only gonna plug in one way. There's a little notch and then a screw locking tab. All right, secure the wiring behind. All right, we're going to locate our headlight in place, and then it will be installed with our factory 10mm bolts. All right, let's grab our ratchet and tighten them down. All right, we can go install our fog light now. You can see we have our T-taps on our harness. So we're gonna plug our red into power, black in the ground. All right, and now we can mount our fog light. All right, we can now mount our fog light with our 3 T20 screws that we took our stock one out with. All right, now we can take our RGB wire that is labeled left fog light, plug our fog light in. All right, now we can plug our RGB light in for our fog light. You can see it's labeled left and fog light. Same thing as a headlight. It just slides in, and then a screw locking tab. And then we can take our extra wire and just tuck it up behind the bumper. All right, now we can reinstall our plastic cover that covers our fog light. And then we can reinstall our 7mm bolts that we took out around. All right, now we're just gonna put our wheel liner back in place and install our two 8mm bolts that we took out earlier. All right, now we just repeat that same process for the other side.
All right, now we can go underneath and reinstall our plastic splash shield on the front. So we're gonna slide it up into place. And then we can reinstall our plastic push pins in the front and our two 7mm bolts in the back.
All right, we're gonna reinstall our grille. We're gonna slide it in place, lock our locking tabs into the front, and then put our plastic push pins back in. All right, now we're just going to show you through some features for the headlights. As you can see, there's an app control. There's also a remote for the app. You can change the colors. You go here, you can change the modes. There's a ton of different modes that you can pick from. And then you can also do the same thing from the remote. Colors, and then change the mode. All right, and that wraps up our install of our ColorSMART Chasing RGB Halo LED headlights with fog lights with a black housing and clear lenses for our 2018 newer Jeep Wrangler JL. And remember, for everything Wrangler, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.